A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Meshmix Media, in association with Laghu Bharati, Karnataka, and AMS Foundation, are hosting a knowledge series. And today's is the fifth session of our exclusive knowledge series, spotlighting India's aerospace and defense sector. Today's topic of discussion is Indigenous Defense Manufacturing Roadmap for 2030. I will a quick background of the topic, as India is taking decisive steps to enhance its indigenous defense manufacturing capabilities under flagship programs like Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. The vision is to build a self-reliant, globally competitive defense ecosystem through strong collaboration between the government, private sector undertakings, and the private industry. This webinar, we will try to explore strategies, challenges, and opportunities that will shape India's defense sector in next decade. I've got a very, esteemed speakers. We have with us Mr. Girish Gowda, GK, Director Strategic Partnership, VM Group. It's good to see you, Girish ji. And soon, Mr. Prabhat Kumar Bhanja, Senior Manager Manufacturing Engineering, Safran Aircraft Engines Hyderabad Private Limited. He will be joining soon. It's good to see you, Girish ji. So before we start, can you let our audience know more about the company, what VM Group does?
Yeah, sure, Dinesh. Thank you for heartily welcoming and organizing the webinar. I would first congratulate the Mesh Media entire media team for organizing and also associating with Laghu Udyog Bharat, which we are all part as a family members now from last year and a half. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Girisha Gowda, and I'm the co-founder of a company called VAIM Group. We are an advanced industrial manufacturing group. We started in the year 2014, and before starting this organization, I worked with a company called IBM as their product marketing director, launching the smarter city concepts. Basically, if you have more of smart man, smart trafficking, smart civic facilities, and so on and so forth, even in energy and utilities. Based on that, the corporate rich experience of 7 years, I joined my hands with my other partners who are also my other co-founder, who are also into design, production, and finance handling. And we started this organization. We are purely into precision manufacturing, and we take contract manufacturing projects. We work very specifically on unique projects than on a generic projects. That has been our USP, and we love R&D where most of the MSMEs look for production, and we are different in the market and very well known for our prototyping and concept building and working with the R&D team exclusively in developing a new product development. There are two reasons why we work on that area. One, it gives us a last minute surprises and challenges and even the learning experiences, which basically helps us in keeping ourselves up with the latest technology and market trends. That's one. And another two is any company can do a contract manufacturing, but the unique proposition or the unique way of addressing is what is it needed in the market and why you want to engage with anybody in the industry leaders, right? We all wanted to work with big companies like Boeing and you can say Alstom or even with Airbus, but at the same time, who will work with their R&D team? Everybody, we all focus on supply chain management. What is our monthly production? What is my billing? Yeah, it is true. I completely agree, because as an MSME, we all have that the so-called fear of sustainability and operation cost and our day-to-day handling. But at the same time, at least my recommendation would be 30% of our focus should be on the new product development, and that is one of the reason why I we cannot say or we cannot clearly claim that we are successful, but definitely we are in the path of the success in terms of indigenization of defense manufacturing. And we also work with not just the defense, We also work with healthcare, EMS sectors, and OEMs, specifically in the R&D and new product development. This is in a short, interaction of what exactly we do in terms of our defense manufacturing and you know our engagements. And I would love to take questions and obviously now we know that Mr. Prabhat Bhanja also has joined, and welcome, sir. Thank you for joining the webinar. And once all the the introductions and the deep discussions on the industry is over, then probably I would love to take any kind of Q&A and then help you to understand what we do or how we do and things like that.
Easy,
Yeah,
and I
thank
would
you.
also like you to later on. I would also like you to explain people how you are uniquely managing your workforce, because you have got a very interesting way of keeping your workforce for a very long time, and that we will touch at the last thing. It's good to have Mr. Prabhat Bhanja. Prabhatji, can you let our audience know more about what you do, what your company does? Then we can dive deep in the subject.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Prabhat here, Prabhat Bhanja. I am from Safran Aircraft Engine, Hyderabad. I am handling manufacturing engineering. I am leading manufacturing engineer here. We are making rotative parts here for the LEAP engine. So there are two variety of rotative parts in Safran terminology. It's called N1 and N2. We are producing N2 category of rotative parts. So these parts are basically, we call it seals. And there are different stages of aero engine where these seals will go. And the manufacturer here, do the machining as well as the coating, water jet cutting, then sandblasting, all the things we do it here in Hyderabad. So if I say the parts are like, in terms of size, they are of around 800 diameter and height was around 100, 150. The material is of Inconel grade, it's Inconel 718 plus, Hast alloy, Wasp alloy, all these kind of materials. So we do the complete machining, starting from roughing to the semi finishing to the finishing, everything, and we send it to the parent company in Paris.
Thanks, Prabhatji.
Yeah.
Since engine, to touch on the subject, since engine is the heart of the aircraft, and so what are the key engineering challenges in producing a world-class aerospace engine in the country, in India, I can say? What are the major challenges we have?
Okay, so I would say, see, generally in aircraft, we say, so there are two things, one thing the structure side and one thing on the engine side. And engine is, it carries the 60% of the total aircraft. If you talk about the commercial aircraft, the defense would be different. The fighter jets would be different. It's like, it is the heart of the engine. Without this, aircraft cannot fly. When we are talking about the manufacturing of aero engine components, there are many more challenges, I would say. And in India, we are just picking up in terms of the aero engine component manufacturing. If you see 10, 12 years before, apart from HL, nobody in India was doing this aero engine activities. Now, at least it has picked up. There are many more companies like Tata, then Godrej, then Mahindra, then Reliance. Many more companies, Bharat Forge, many more companies have came off. They have started working on aero engines. So I would say the biggest challenge are three. First is the raw material. The raw material, I mean, we all have to depend upon either of USA or China. Today, 60% of the raw material is coming from either USA or Europe, and 40 to 30% is from China. HL to extent is doing for their own requirement, but not for the commercial this thing. Recently, I came to know GE has started developing few, but it has not gone to the production level. So point number one is raw material. Second, in terms of the manufacturing, aerostructure manufacturing is having different challenge, and aero engine manufacturing is altogether different challenge, because the material machinability is different, material composition is different, cutting tools are different, the behavior of the materials behave differently when you do the machining. No, when you do the machining in Inconel, work hardening happens. Uh, if we understand what is work hardening, it's like when you do the Inconel machining, because of the inherent property of Inconel, localized heating will produce, and it will localized hardness will get created during the machining. So you'll have you'll get very less tool life, right? So you need to know what is the sweet spot, what parameter I have to play, what is the cutting speed I have to play, what is the feed rate I have to play, what are the cutting tools I have to use. So that learning is very limited in India. And the last point is the machine tool. So today, India, if we have to work on aero engine components, we all have to depend either. There are many more machine tool available suppliers are in Europe and Japan, right? I am not underestimating the machine tool supplier of India, but their torque, the reliability for a long duration is to be debated, right? So today we are depending upon, like, let's say DMG, Sterag, Majak, MCM, Okuma, all these cutting tool suppliers which are not from India. So
Yes.
as per me, these are the three basic challenges: raw material, the technical know-how of machining this Inconel or HRS based material, and the machine tool. Why machine tool is a challenge? It's not that we don't have money to buy. We all can throw money and get the machine. But today, with the geopolitical situations, there are a lot of restriction is there. Now, if you want to buy a machine, it is at least 1 year or more than that. Which customer will wait for us? Nobody will wait for us. And again, once buying the machine, then again you have to wait for any service support, application support, many more things. So these challenges are predominantly there today in front of us.
Good point and a valid point. Girish, you want to add anything?
No, as Prabhat sir rightly mentioned, it is way too difficult first to find the material itself. It is true that it's a he's talking of the core or heart of the aircraft. Imagine we are facing a challenge even at a structure level. Then I can really understand the real pain point what Prabhat sir's team is going on in terms of finding a raw material. Just to
Yeah.
add on to your point, we provide cockpit ladders for Tejas aircrafts where pilots use, and there is a special material for the pin, which lead time is about 10 weeks from Europe. So the 10 weeks just for the material to be shipped from Europe and then to receive and then for us to manufacture, then do the trial, then take the batch production. So it is way too challenging in terms of the material. I completely agree, and obviously in terms of many components there are special machines. See, we all might feel that the machines are readily available. You just give them you give the money and then they will they will supply to you. No, it is 100% true that most of these machineries which are available are general fabrication machineries. If you are looking for anything which is very specific, you need a certain rpm uh, vertical milling or certain rpm wala or certain features to be added, then it's not ready level. It's These are all special spm machines. Again, the process time, it is true that we have a little bit of challenges, but yeah, we have to look at the positive side and then push forward and see how we can engage with our counterparts in other countries who can who are keeping these material as a stock and then who can support mutually.
Before starting it, I was reading a very interesting article. Make in Bihar boots are used by Russian army. So make in India. I can see exports as going is picking up. So let's come to our first question. What are the India's biggest achievement in indigenous defense manufacturing? I want to start with you, Prabhatji.
See, in terms of the defense manufacturing in India, today it is the epicenter is HAL, right?
Yes.
And the other manufacturer, whether you can call it Tata Advanced System, or it is Bharat Forge, or it is Godrej, or it's M-Tire, these are the suppliers of HL. Okay. So, unfortunately, in the last 75 to 60 years, none of the private sector has come off, unlike the other European and US. They have many more private sectors, those are into the defense manufacturing. So I would say, yes, HL has been the backbone of Indian defense for last I would say 5 to 6 decades, right? But I think we would have been did it better. In terms of achievement, we did. I would say there is many commendable things HAL did. I would say when I was in the Sukhoi project, when I was in HAL in the initial days of my life. So if you see the Sukhoi in Russia and Sukhoi in India is different. It is Sukhoi MKI. So I mentioned India. So it is we did some customization for our need, and that is I would say that is one advanced version of the what actual Sukhoi they are using in Russia, right? So we have better integration knowledge in terms of that. We did it better, and in terms of the manufacturing side, we are much cheaper than, let's say, today we buy some engine or aircraft directly from Russia. It will be at least 2.5 times. But when HL is making, it is much cheaper. So in terms of that, in terms of manufacturing side, we did a very good job. In terms of integration, we did a very good job. And coming to the missile sector, I think, yes, we did very good job. There are companies like Bromos, who, again, it is a collaboration between one Russian company and India. I think it's a defense. Yeah, Ministry of Defense has invested in that. So we did a very good job. Again, in that Bromos, we have lot of customization. We put our own knowledge, thanks to many more. I would say scientists like Abdul Kalam, who did spend their whole life, in upgrading all this technology what we got from Russia. So our achievements is, yes, we did very good in the missiles, and in terms of the manufacturing of the fighter aircraft and defense, we did very good. Okay, we have to focus more on the design side. I would say in terms of manufacturing, whether it's a missile, whether it is engine or the structure or the aircraft assembly, anything, India is in a very, very good position. The only thing what we have to focus is now on the design.
Right.
Right.
Interesting point. Girisha ji, you want to add? Mute, sir, you are mute.
Yeah. So in terms of the Make in India concept, can you just give me 1 minute? I'll just come in. Can you please just fill in for me? Just 1 minute.
Okay, so so now Agni 1 to Agni 5 is there. Agni 5 was launched few days back in Odisha. And so now India has a capability from 1500 kilometer to 5000 kilometers, which was successfully launched in Odisha. I don't know which part of Odisha. Amako jola nahi. So I will check that data and come back to you.
It is in Chandipur. It's
Ah.
the western part of Odisha. I basically am from Odisha. I know about it.
ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ ଓଡିଆରେ ଟିକେ କହିଲି ଯେ ଆମ ଗାଁଟା ରାଉରକେଲା. So I was
Okay,
just
great.
feeling it. I was just feeling it,
Just
Girisha ji. So your views, sir.
Yes, sir. Sorry. Yeah.
Your views on the achievements of
So, as just Prabhat sir was mentioning in terms of a Make in India concept. So there are 3-4 key projects which we exclusively worked. Gave us a lot of insight, along with HL and BEML as a tri-party agreement, in completely from technology transfer, in handling their entire ground handling equipments. That's mostly on the operation side of it, not on the onboard applications. So most of the components, which helped us in developing rather than importing, or engaging with foreign players, is purely because of the Make in India. The concept was really very helpful in terms of Indian manufacturers. which gave us a lot of advantage. And obviously for our customers, like who's obviously BML and HAL, were made sure that the Indian manufacturers are engaged at least either at an assembly level or at a contract manufacturer level or at supplying at a component level. So even though the design we are at a very early stage in terms of a manufacturing, at least we are well versed in terms of compared to last 7 8 years after this entire concept has been kicked off and then been very helpful in terms of it developing. So we manufactured the total ammunition TMA trolleys and crash recovery trolleys, aircraft lifting slings, nose handling gears. These ground handling equipments were not available with most of the staff, Indian Air Force locally. It was always been imported, or it's always been guided by them in terms of how to operate at these kind of difficult scenarios or how they can manage and things like that. Certainly, it's a good way to promote Make in India. And I would also add on to a point saying because of that we are able to sustain the 50% taxing scale from the US, government. At least as an organization, as a country, we are able to come back and then say, boss, we are engaged with our Indian customers. Even though you are not able to supply to us, yes, we can self-manage and self-reliant, sustainable. The same thing happened even with the iPhone manufacturing, where the scenario was they just called off all the engineers, which was based out of Bangalore Foxconn, and our engineers were put in a situation where we have invested, we don't know how to operate or how to manage the things, but we were able to take that as a challenge and then make it forward. Certainly these kind of an initiative from from a government organizations would certain would give us a confidence and boost uh, in terms of taking any kind of a risk.
And thanks for sharing. Aerospace is something, for my understanding, where if a part or a component is 1 kg, the document is 10 kg or it can be 100 kg, because quality is something which is non-negotiable for this industry. So, how can MSME contribute to India's self-reliance in defense manufacturing, keeping in mind all those PSU who have uh, maybe my numbers can I won't quote the exact number because I don't have, let's say, 5,000, 10,000, X amount of L1, L2, L3, L4 suppliers, and India want to indigenize the defense equipment. They want to source those part to L1, L2, L3, somebody in Mysore, somebody in Tumkur, Pinia, or maybe Odisha, Rourkela, Jharsuguda, Chhattisgarh, where those MSME, are staying. How can they contribute to this bigger plan, and what they should look at? I want to start with Prabhat.
Uh, See, it's a very important question what you asked, and it is the need of the hour today for India. And to be very honest with you, uh, when I was in HAL and when I was in TASL for around 10 years, it was really very difficult to find a very good supplier who can work with us, because India predominantly has been, if you'll see the ecosystem is developed apart from Bangalore, by the way, whether it is Chennai, whether it is Pune, whether it is Mumbai, then Delhi, NCR, all these things, it is predominantly the ecosystem is developed for the automotive industry, right? So the mindset of automotive industry manufacturer and the aerospace manufacturer, there is a lot of difference, right? So generally, when I explain to our people, we say in automotive we say one insert or one tool. We ask, okay, how many tools can be made by one tool? But in aerospace, it's different. For one component, how many tools to be manufactured? How many tools are required to manufacture one component? So that is the difference. it's a very if common language we should say, right? So in aerospace there is, because we know that recently the memory has not gone. It's a very bad memory. The Air India aircraft digester in Ahmedabad, right? So there is no scope of saving people's life in aerospace. In automotive we can do something, we are on the ground, we can manage something, but in there you are playing with the life of people, so we cannot, there is no excuse of having any things to be managed if there's nothing to be managed. So I would say 10 to 12 years before or 15 years before, the scenario was very very I would say in the initial stage, we were, apart from HL, the small companies were coming up. They were trying to support to HL. There are a lot of skill set gap. There are a lot of understanding gap. Everything was there. But I think I would say today India is better. There is a long way to go.
Yes.
We competitors in our
I
Maybe
guess
there is some
I
there
guess
is
there
a
is a
lag.
network. Yeah,
Yes. So by
network.
the time his networks connects, Girishji, according to you, what should an MSME do? Because you have got you work in the industry, you are expanding very aggressively, you are going international. So what are your key learnings? Number one, how Indian SME, MSME can join this movement? Somebody sitting in, let's say, Tumkur or Belgaum or any other part of the country, how they can be a part of this larger goal which government is setting up, where they want to have 60 to 65% parts made in the country for defense aerospace, to support the bigger mission like Atmanirbhar Bharat and all. So what are your
So,
views?
yeah. So, in terms of documentation, standardization, it is definitely very challenging for an MSME to address. The reason being is now they'll come for an audit. Okay, we will, let's talk about as a reality. Okay, so
Yes.
they'll come for an audit, then they would say, you'll have, yeah, just the smallest to the smallest is an ISO audit. Aerospace, obviously, they'll come for AS audit. Okay, AS 9100. So if they come for an ISO audit, then there is a management review meeting has to happen every week or every month. Then there is a manager, QC manager. Then there is a QC engineer. At each department level, just for the standard of an ISO audit itself, you need to have a bare minimum staff of 2 to 3 people.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not exaggerating. That's a bare minimum reality of 2 to 3 people, including a backup plan if somebody is on leave or some kind of a
Okay.
festival vacation where uh, customers are visiting you. So in each department, if you are keeping a 2 to 3 people, the burden for an MSME itself from a department level just for a quality is around 5 to 10 people.
Okay.
So look at the cost implied for those 10 people. It is true that we all are talking about we need to manage good amount of records or good amount of documentation. But in my personal experience, what I have observed, including even people, right, including all Allstom, they will always come back stating what is the cost you are going to reduce for the next financial year, because I have given you a XYZ amount of a business in the previous year. We are not talking in terms of how do we optimize the design so that it can reduce the cost. That itself is a major impact for an MSME. to offer a cost discount or even reduce the operation cost. Now, in a reverse way or in another way, your quality standards are increasing, your cost to manufacture is increasing because of the documentation and your quality department. People have to maintain all that. So, overall, as such, your cost is already getting impacted, and it is true that it is a it is a load for an MSME to maintain the standard or to maintain the yeah, all these kind of documentation challenges. But nevertheless, if you have to be on the race, then somebody has to innovate. So previously it was like, anybody can start up a business, run for some 5 6 years, and then they can be a sleeping partner for yourself. But nowadays that's not the case. So you have to be on toes. You have to manage certain things, and wherever the departments you are having a shortfall of a people, you should be ready to fill in the gap and then learn the if you remember, right? So there was a beautiful quote, which people always say: doctors will never stop studying or upgrading their skills. The moment they stop upgrading their skills, they will have a lot of accidents. If you want to be a good doctor, right? So it's the same case with a good MSME. If you want to be a good MSME, last year I was working till 6 o'clock. That was last year. Now, what is that you can do for this year is a new challenge and a new question. So that is a major challenge for an MSME, as if you ask me personally. But at the same time, one thing as a positive has happened. People like Prabhat sir, people like our Siki guy, the Belgaum person, and also the Laghu Udyog Bharat Association. Those were the places where you get an information in terms of understanding the challenges and understanding how to address uh, you know the shortfall. Maybe something like, I don't know, now how do I get an information. Previously we all have to, like, during our engineering days, if we have to have certain data, then it's only Tata Institute or some college libraries. Now at least sitting at one place, you can connect with people. The network has improved, and that is a good point. Yeah, so those are the two both positive and real challenges of commercial impact because of the standardization. It is true that we have to manage, and I would always as my personal opinion, okay, so please don't take me wrong, the people who are attending, as an Indian, right? So we always go up to 90%. The last 10% is where we miss the bus. We will, if you look at the kind of a quality of the product what our fellow MSMEs do, it is beautiful. But due to because of that commercial limitations, we always somewhere try to compromise either on our documentation or on the way we manage our facility. If you have visited our facility, right? So we have about, when we started, we are about 1,500 square feet. Now we are about 24,000 square feet. Still we have a shortfall of the places.
Expanding.
Yeah, keep expanding, but still again there will be a shortfall, because you will never take less order. You will always try to take more orders, and you will have a shortfall. And
Mm.
as per the floor plan, you're not supposed to keep certain things XYZ places. But yeah, as an MSME, that itself is a challenge. You need to have a place for a quarantine, you need to have a place for a rejection, you need to have a place for storage, then you need to have a place for a different material, different sections. If you are just in an machining, you can have a rack. But in sheet metal, it's way too challenges. And if you are both in sheet metal and machining, it's next level challenge. So it is true that as an MSME or as an Indian manufacturers, we all are having a good amount of challenges compared to our competitors. Let me quote an example, quote how our competitors, everybody comes back and then ask us, see, people are doing, way good in China. People are able to produce more. Boss, it is not the real scenario. If you go there and visit the places, right, you cannot migrate from one cluster to another cluster. You cannot own your own factory. It's all on lease or on a rent, and you cannot have more people or less, or hire less people. So there is a standard set of guidelines which you need to manage. And over and above, the government gives a lot of subsidies in terms of electricity, in terms of place and things like that. So here, that one challenge is truly impacting in terms of, if you look at, I know even in Bhubaneswar now, or in Orissa, if you ask Prabhat sir, he would definitely add on a point over there. Ask him the real estate cost, now it has gone up now. It's the same case even with Bangalore. People moved, vehicles were. I know the challenges how we are all facing. Okay, now vehicle movement is stopped from traffic. Every public appreciated it. Now vehicle is not able to move to our KR market where our suppliers are were there. Now what they do? They all move to Pina. The moment they move to Pina, the real estate demand has increased. Now MSMEs are not able to
Hold
even
it.
expand. Exactly, expand to the next level. Now where we have to go? We have to go to Dabas.
Dabas bit.
So the moment you go to Dabas, the next important challenge would be, how do you manage the manpower?
Yes.
How do you commute? How do you provide the food facilities? So, and again, it is not that we all are not or don't want to provide all these facilities, but it's also eating up your operation costs or increasing the operation costs. That is a, I completely uh, have the personal challenges, and I can feel for my fellow MSMEs. But yeah, as Professor rightly pointed out, it is true that these challenges do exist, and we all have to somehow plan our own mechanisms or our own thought process in bringing up or optimizing our space, or having some kind of a vertical, previously we never had kind of a vertical storages. It used to always go on a horizontal. So we have to come up certain new set of ideas like this.
Girish, I
Yeah.
want to add something on that.
Yeah,
Uh,
please sir.
so, and you have visited many other suppliers in China and other countries. I have also visited. So the difference what I found is they are not technically better than us. Trust me on this.
I agree.
I have visited almost all the advanced European countries. I have visited many uh, aerospace suppliers in US. I have visited suppliers in Japan, not China. I have not visited China. In terms of engineering, manufacturing side, not design side, we are far better than anybody in the world. Trust me on this.
I
Okay.
completely agree.
Where we are lacking, I will tell you. The first point is discipline. We are not disciplined. Second, cleanness. We are not very well maintained in terms of the fibers. Forget about fibers, the cleanness.
True.
Okay. And second, we don't value human life. Third point, we don't value human life. See, we are into aerospace manufacturing, whether aero engine or aerostructure. We are into serious business. We are not doing any normal industries or automotive with due respect to everybody, automotive or die mold or general engineering. With due respect to everybody, I'm not undermining them, but we are into serious business. It's aircraft. We cannot have an average mindset, and we would have a healthy or better mindset when we value our own life. What we do, if a work can be it needed to 8 hours to finish, will be asked, even me. and including my manager, no, do it in 2 hours. So what happens? We squeeze ourselves. Squeeze is okay, but don't over squeeze. So when we do over squeeze, we got pressure. And in pressure, you will not be innovative. And in pressure, you may get efficiency, not effective. When I worked with the European folks or the US folks, no, they don't understand any word of urgency. Huh? There's nothing urgency for them in life. You go to hell. I will do this much. It's over. So in that way, see, I'm not telling that we should be that luxury. No, we don't have that luxury because they are way ahead in at least one generation ahead. We'll be more efficient, more hardworking, but we should first value to our life. Once we start believing our life, we start loving ourselves, we'll do more productive or more better work. That cultural mindset has to be changed, at least in aerospace. If unless until we don't do that, see, I have visited many suppliers. They have very mess up in production. They have mess up in. I have audited many suppliers in Europe. They have a lot of even they don't have a configuration system. Trust me on this. But if you see a component coming from India, coming from German, you'll by visual you can see this part came from Germany. Because any part they manufacture, they give 100% of their mind. In our subfloor, if you see, people will be using mobile phone. In meeting, we'll be having so many mobile phones. First, please stop this. We have to be focused, disciplined, and value our life. Automatically, this culture will change. Once we, so there is a paradigm shift has to happen in terms of the culture. Unless until you do that, we cannot be effective and efficient.
Just to add on to what Prabhat sir has told, it is true that you cannot wait someone else to do. If you, the bottom line, if you look at what me and sir was trying to communicate as a, for the entire people who are attending, it is completely your responsibility, right? If you want to do it, please you do it first before asking someone else from any organization to do it. Now, I don't know because we all have got used to see, we all have done our engineering here, and we all are used to that last minute of attendance corrections, test, exams, everything in the last minute preparations. But yeah, that was our culture. I agree. But now, if we have to upgrade and really compete with our fellow competitors in at the global level, then definitely it is us who has to focus. There is one cultural difference. What we all have to even start teaching our next generation is when we are in webinar, we will be thinking of what needs to be done the next after this. But after while doing that, then you will be thinking what we need to do it in the evening. Thinking ahead is not a problem, but you have to actually focus on what you are doing first. Complete it, then you plan. Planning is a major area we all have to work and and commit to ourselves, right? So you see, if now if we, if I have to quote something, we had a Ganesha festival celebration just before the webinar. I could have easily told Dinesh that I need a break of lunch and I can take off. No, it was my commitment to Dinesh, and also there are fellow people who are attending, and it's make sure that you can take a lunch later, but at least make sure that you given your 100% attend, participation. Make sure that you are adding, even if someone out of our attendees, even one or two people understands that yes, something has to be changed, some improvement has to be made from our commitment, then it is our purpose is solved.
Interesting point, Giriji. Since you took Laghu Udyog Bharati name, Laghu Udyog Bharati is the way I have seen, I've spoken to them, they are hand holding many SME. Like, for example, basic one meeting I went there, they were giving trainings on GEM portal. because I have never logged into a GEM portal, but I was reading about it, how those SME, MSME can, minimum access. A lot of companies are there, but it's tough to understand what are the processes. So organization like Laghu Udyog Bharati, they are hand holding those SME, MSME and trying to teach them, whether it's finance literacy, whether it's marketing literacy, whether it's accessing to government offers, because there are so many, even uh, offers, or you say proposals come. So there should be association, as an association like LUB is helping those SME and MSME. So number one. So now let's move from here to the supply chain side. Since a lot of things are happening globally, there is a Russia Ukraine, there is US tariff, then there is war somewhere here and there, and supply chain is something which is very important. That's the reason India want to have its own indigenization of most of the, whether it's aerospace, defense, or any other industry. So what should we do to build a resilient supply chain for defense to avoid over dependence on imports? Prabhat ji, how can we build this? What are the steps we should take? Or
No, I think the previous question what we discussed and this question is to extent similar and linked to each other.
okay,
It is the ecosystem we need to develop here in India. I think the current government, the central government, is very much focused. They understand the importance of this to become self-reliant in terms of the defense and aerospace. We having 150 billion of people in country cannot depend upon for the defense or this thing to other countries. I would say there are a couple of points coming to my mind immediately. Like first thing is the government is very aggressive and supportive, right? That is happening. That is the reason, if you'd say, after 2010, there are many more SEZ, aerospace defense SEZ has come off,
yes,
many more big corporate sectors. Now, even the small MSME has entered. So there is a, I would say, very encouraging environment has come off in the, I'd say, in one decade, right? So that is coming up, and I don't think there is a challenge in terms of the investment. I think there are good amount of capable industrial hubs or houses are there. Those who are capable of investing and they are interested also, right? Uh, there are two challenges as per me. One is manpower, and second is technology. I
okay,
will touch manpower later. First, I'll talk about the technology. There are many technology which is not available in India. Uh, Developing a casting of aircraft is not there, not available. We don't know how many years or decades it will take. I don't know, to be honest with you. And there are it's not about only manufacturing. So machining is a very small part of the whole ecosystem. Huh? There are many special process. It's like electron beam molding, coating, sandblasting, shot pinning, painting. Many special processes are there, which we have to have that kind of ecosystem in India. Uh, Actually, there are many small countries like Taiwan and South Korea. They have taken a leap. They have started during 2000 and they are better now in terms of these ecosystems. We we need to start looking into that, and I would say that kind of knowledge is there limitedly to HAL, ISRO, DRDO to a extent, but we can have technical collaboration with the OEMs, those who are in Europe and US, and get the knowledge, the TOT, what to say. I think in terms of that, government is also very particular, and that is the reason you would have seen now there is a competition between all the OEMs to have their business in India. Take
yes,
it Rolls-Royce or GE or Safran or Pratt& & Whitney, Honeywell, Boeing, Airbus, everybody have their offices, and around 2000 people of each company is working in India. So that is one good thing. So in terms of technology, we should have the technological, I would say, engagement, collaboration so that TOT will happen. Okay, and trust me, we Indian engineers are quick learner. We will learn it and definitely do better than them for sure. The second point, which is a very important point, I don't have an answer how to solve this. Unfortunately, when I'm now hiring people, I am going to many premier institutes, engineering institutes. I don't want to take the name. The
Yes.
average quality of the engineers has gone down. I don't know why. Same, I don't know, education system becoming commercial, yes. But even there are many good institutes. I have gone to the premier institutes in engineering institute, the quality has gone down. And people are not interested to go into manufacturing. They wanted to have a quick, earn money because the recent generation has developed in a instant gratification environment. Like in the mobile, we can order food, it will come in 10 minutes, right? We want anything to see, we can see it. We can do anything in a hand, everything is there, we can just get it. So I believe our generation, the recent generation has to think in that direction, or we have to encourage them, or what, I don't know. But there are very few good talents are available in manufacturing. I would say the core engineering, whether it is mechanical, production, or electrical, all these sides. Many more people are going to, let's say, software is one thing, then they are going to service sector, then AI, all the things. Yes, it is fine, it is good, we should do. But also this is the core sector which we have to focus, and all the good talents are going away from manufacturing. It's not a good sign, right? Today in Europe, in US, they are a scarcity of good engineering people. They don't have people even to operate the machine. And take my word, 10 years down the line, the same situation will happen in India, right? See, we have 150 crore of people here, but how many qualified people we have? Not even 1 crore.
Yeah, because manufacturing is not that glamorous. IT looks glamorous. Uh, for example, the way I understand of whatever little knowledge I have, pay scale, what an engineer in a mechanical joins. This is the problem because I work with a lot of colleges. The pay what a mechanical guy will, get in his initial days, uh, 4 times, 5 times the ID guy will get. So and in this fast-paced life, I've seen a lot of people opting for IT and all those industry rather than like. But you rightly said that there should be some incentive for people who want to work into manufacturing. Well, that's the mission, like make in India and all those. Government is also trying. So Girishji, you want to add?
Ah, that's a
Girish, before you say something,
Okay.
I have another 5 minutes because after that I have one more meeting. I will
Yes.
take a exit now, and then I would love to connect with Girish and you later in any other forum. Right?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Girishji, and
nice
I'm
same here.
sure we will have many more interaction in many more
I
forums.
would definitely take your contacts from Dinesh
Yeah,
sir, and
yeah,
I will
we'll
get
connect,
in touch with you.
right?
Sure, sure.
And in the same direction, I will add one point. There is a new actually approach Europe has adopted now. What they are doing, the industries, they are going to the school level.
Okay.
They are going to the student, those who are in the 10th, 9th standard. And from there onwards, they started imposing on their mind. They're calling them to the industry. They're spending months in the summer vacation, and they know it's just a free this thing. And they are taking the people to the subfloor, giving the exposure of manufacturing, machining, quality, material, all the things. So eventually, what will happen? Let's say you took 50 people from 8th standard, right? Every year you will go on imposing them. After 12th, at least after out of 50, you will get 10,
Yes.
which will be really interested. So by that way, they are attracting more talent and good people. And to your point, Dinesh, money is not a problem. We are ready to pay better than the IT people, but still we are not
Okay.
getting.
Okay.
Okay. So by this, I will end my talk. And it was a nice discussion with you and
Thank you.
Girish. Okay, I will
Thank
connect
you for
again.
your Thank you
Yeah.
for your time.
Sure,
Jai
sure.
Jagannath. Great,
Thank you.
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Good day.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhat. So, yeah, you were saying something, Giriji, on the.
So, as Sir was talking about supply chain, right? So, in supply chain, there are many areas and sub-level areas which we are supposed to cover. One is a manpower, is certainly a great challenge, and being an MSME and being a startup by myself, I cannot say or tell my next level generation people that no, you have to only work, you have to only be coming in the manufacturing sector. Being in a mechanical engineer, I also shifted to IT, did my MBA, worked in IT for 7 years, but somehow I felt that the grassroots or the still my instinct of mechanical sector was dragging me, and then I joined joined my team and then started off this. It is true that the media. I don't want to blame mesh media here, but it is true that the media or the glamour or social media or some kind of a hype on the salary packages, their travel, things like that. It is certainly impacting the mechanical sector in terms of influencing. However, as last point, which Prabhat sir has mentioned, going back to the roots and going back to the college, we as an MSME have started to do it. We are going back to institutes, talking about the success stories, how we did it, what can be done, or what need to be achieved. Even if they have to start somewhere as an organization like us, then they have to work for minimum 7 to 10 years in the industry to learn the
Correct.
basics and to start investing before investing, right? So even at least for that 10 years we are going to get a manpower.
Correct.
So somewhere we all have to go back to connect to people. If you look back, the IT industries, they did the same. They did purely the same. They influenced people. You learn testing. You will get a package of 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, advertisements. How did they do? It is not that everybody got to know about testing immediately. Then
Yes.
manual testing became an automated testing. Then it became an AI. It's a
Yes.
communication which we are spending most of our energy in firefighting. That is a fact. MSMEs, the day to day when I come, it is true to take out a time like this to talk to you or talk to the people and explain our knowledge sharing to the industry, or even to motivate people to start off something or look at some R&D projects or look at some indigenization projects. But if you want an ecosystem, somewhere you have to make sure that you spend some time, you connect with people, you connect with associations, you talk to your fellow members, and then say, yeah, you can also start off. Let's say, for example, if I'm a contract manufacturer in mechanical industry, if somebody is there in electronics, I can definitely go and talk to him and then connect to my customers, vice versa. So that is how we have to build our ecosystem. You cannot run alone. If you look at our company's tagline, we claim that together we can achieve more. And it is 100% true that unless we connect the dots between the education system, between our competitors, between our, the our fellow MSMEs, or even the events which are happening. It is not necessary that you are participating in the event. If you are able to, and if you are able to take back, the subsidy, like the way you are organizing the IMS along with the Laghu Udyog Bharat, then it is beautiful. If not, at least it is good to go and participate,
Yes.
look what people are doing, what is the things we can work with. So that's how we all have to run. There is no alternative these days. We It is true, investment is available, projects are available, but commitment is something which we all have to come back.
Rightly said. We have 10 minutes, Girishji, and we
We
are
will
trying
queue
our
up and take the questions, and
yes,
so that
yeah, we have 10 minutes. And I wanted to add that from our side, we are doing manufacturing Premier League to encourage the industry to come and play Samurai Awards. We are trying a bit, but like I said, it has to look glamorous. And
I
before
I
we
have
take
I have one point to add. I have a team of 25, 30 people who are working on one of the projects, and then you are asking me, bring 12 people. Where do I bring the 12 people?
like you said, it's again a challenge. Before we take question, I want to quickly, like employee retention is something I started. I wanted to listen from you quickly in 2 minutes. Since you have employees working from somebody from start, somebody for a very long time, what all activities you do to keep those employee happy and work for the organization with a bigger vision for a long time? Before we take the questions.
Yeah. So as an organization, that's a, as you personally associated with us, and then you are aware. Otherwise, we don't do the much branding about it. The reason being is we love to give back the society. Okay. So the first thing what we started as an organization, even from the second or a third year, we started going back to our roots. We went back to the colleges where we studied. We went back to the schooling where we have studied, or to the places where we have grown up, trying to connect with the people who are there, students who are there, just passing out from ITI or a diploma college or from an engineering college. The first and foremost thing, what they all come back is, when I come to Bangalore, where do I live? If I go back to any of the places, they will ask for so much of advance and then rent and all. I'll not be able to sustain. At least I need a support for 6 months, 1 year, until I stabilize my career. So then we started supporting that, as a good cause, not as an we don't call it as an employee retention. We didn't do this just to make sure we have more people, but we just felt that a good gesture for towards our people who work hard and who think about us as an organization, even in our absence. When we are in our meetings, somebody has to be there, thinking about the machine, thinking about the product. So we started thinking at least, 20-30% of our time to think about them. Then obviously overtime, offer started offering overtimes, minimize the team so that they maximize their earning on a month on month basis, bring in more projects, bring in more orders in terms of our own products. That is one line which we started. And recently, special thanks to my team, my co-founders, and my also my staff who are able to pull in the biggest project. We all felt that our team was malnourished, so they were not having enough good quality food in terms of food available in the can or outside nearby places, hotels. A lot of chemicals were used. We felt that we have to do something, and now we started our own cafeteria. We don't cook, but we have given it to a central kitchen managed by a home people, a home cooking. So we started that. All these ones are not included in their package. Their
Thanks for the
salary is.
invite. Thanks for the invite. I will drop by soon.
Please, please, please. Anytime my we have a open. As I said before,
I like
we
the culture.
we connect with people, we connect with vendors, we connect with customers. Is only because of this. We sit with them, we have the food, we eat what they eat. So there is no disparity. We all are equal. They can approach us. We talk to them. So they stand in my shop floor. Even today, there is a customer who is standing and then doing, and not just the inspection. He is also training my team to how to do the welding activities for his projects. So that's how we don't call ourselves as a vendors to them. We are an extended partners, both for the employees and as well as for the customers. So those are all the small tweak in our communication, which you might call it as an employee retention plan. But otherwise, yeah, these are the things what we do.
My takeaway is recognition from whatever you said, recognizing people at the right time, so that they are even motivated. And everybody, like, if you say something good about me in audience, I will also feel good. If if we get it's like human tendency, though we don't ask, if we get an award or anything reward, we are happy, whether it's a matchbox, whether it's a pen, anything. So it's good to, I like your policy. That's the reason in the initially I told, okay, I want you to let our listeners know what they can do, small things, to make a, I won't say a family atmosphere, but where people want to come to office. They don't, want to get up and say, I want to go to the factory again. They should, thrive and want to come to the office to, have the moment they want to produce parts and all. Quickly, we'll take question. There is one question, Girisha ji. Given the growing trend for smaller companies acquiring AS 900 certification primarily to qualify for aerospace contracts, often emphasizing documentation over genuine quality practices, what measures can be introduced to ensure that certification reflects true operational excellence rather than just procedural compliances?
Uh, okay, so the person name is
He is
it's
anonymous. He don't want
okay.
you to
Okay, okay,
disclose his
perfectly
name.
fine. We do have the same channel. I just wanted to, rather than saying anonymous one, I would love to mention somebody's name and then uh,
Correct.
yeah, explain it. It is true that we also have the same challenge. It is not easy, and it's a fact that our customers are not wrong here. The reason being is, when we looked at the recent scenarios of incidents which have happened, unless you do the tracking of the complete raw material, even the process wise, what is being inspected, what is not being inspected, then it is difficult for them because they already waited 8 weeks, 10 weeks for the material, then another 4 5 weeks for the manufacturing process to complete, then they find out if the fitment is not happened, then again from the beginning. So here we are not talking about a general fabrication or any quick fix item here. uh, if we have to sustain in defense manufacturing, it is no other alternative other than adopting to these quality standards. It is expensive, and unless we are going to focus 30 to 40% of our business turnover in defense, then it is not needed.
And the second question we have answered, what kind of action would help in improving lack of discipline, cultural behavior in MSME? We have answered, like, whatever you have said. Lastly, aren't ITI be able to produce skill workforce? What do you think about ITI and the students? I know these days I hear on-job training, OJT. People they hire and then they train on. So what do you think about how you upgrade your skill force? Not to answer them, you can give an overall perspective.
Yeah. See, what happens is, as a culture or as an organization, right? So we always worked from a two people team to 120 people now.
Correct.
We always promote our existing staff, then hiring a new people, and we add on responsibilities based on the commitment and their focus. And obviously, you have to spend some quality time in explaining their career growth plan. And it is true that it is going to be a cost to the organization, but including during, or I guess apart from 1 year of a COVID, we made sure that we have given an appraisal before they come back and ask when is your appraisal, when is the appraisal. So we have made it as a disciplined approach in our organization. On every year April, they are going to get a hike. It is a standard depending on the performance and depending on the performance of the organization. These kind of a discipline as an MSME, it is necessary to two things. One, why somebody has to upgrade their skills and work for you, unless you are giving them a constant appraisal or
Correct.
constant upliftment of his skill set.
Yes.
Two, once he is able to do a good project, unless it is needed, make sure that you bring relevant projects for him so that he is very happy and then continue working with you.
It's like building a culture, and I like the small nuances. I can talk hours and hours because a lot of things which I know we have spoken, we can't touch back because it will take time. Lastly, Girisha ji, Laghu Udyog Bharati is organizing India Manufacturing Show 2025 from 6th to 8th of November at BIEC, powered by Ministry of Defence, Ministry of Steel, Ministry of Heavy Industries, and I wanted to invite everybody to part of this show as a visitor, as an exhibitor, come for the conferences, and looking forward to meet you soon at Samurai Awards and India Manufacturing Show, Girisaji.
Yeah,
Thank you for your time. I know it's a busy, you didn't had your lunch. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We look forward to see you at episode number 6. Thanks, Girishji. Thank you. Have a
thank
great
you.
day.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody.